It's much too early in the morning to... Uh-oh.
Who said my mother was pregnant? Break his face.
What became of the iconic Welcome Back Kotter cast after the show wrapped? From breakout stars to unexpected tragedies, their journeys will leave you speechless. This hit sitcom defined a generation, launching careers and creating unforgettable characters. But time changes everything. Some actors skyrocketed to fame, while others faded into obscurity. Shocking transformations, behind-the-scenes drama, and heartbreaking twists. Wait until you see where they are now. Stay tuned as we reveal the incredible then and now stories of the Welcome Back Kotter cast. You won't believe what happened to them. John Travolta. John Travolta was destined for stardom. The youngest of 6 children, he was raised in a family that encouraged creativity. His mother was a drama teacher, and his siblings pursued entertainment careers. Travolta dropped out of high school at 16 to pursue acting, moving to New York City, where he performed in stage productions like Grease and Over Here before relocating to Hollywood. His early television roles included appearances on Emergency and The Rookies, but his career skyrocketed in 1975 when he was cast as Vinnie Barbarino, the cocky yet charming leader of the Sweat Hogs, on Welcome Back, Kotter. His charisma and comedic timing made him the breakout star of the series, leading to bigger opportunities. While still on Kotter, Travolta's film career took off. He gained critical acclaim in Carrie, 1976, and became a cultural icon with Saturday Night Fever, 1977, earning an Oscar nomination. This was followed by Grease, 1978, one of the highest-grossing musicals of all time. By the end of the 1970s, Travolta was one of Hollywood's biggest stars. However, the 1980s were less kind, with box office disappointments like Moment by Moment, 1978, and Staying Alive, 1983, slowing his momentum. Travolta made a surprising comeback in 1989 with Look Who's Talking, which spawned 2 sequels. But his true resurgence came with Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, 1994, where he played hitman Vincent Vega, earning him another Oscar nomination. This led to a series of successful films, including Get Shorty, 1995, Face Off, 1997, and Primary Colors, 1998. In the 2000s, his career had highs, Hairspray, 2007, and lows, Battlefield Earth, 2000. Despite fluctuating success, he remained a beloved Hollywood figure. Personal tragedy struck when his son Jet passed away in 2009. Travolta continued acting, appearing in projects like The People vs. O.J. Simpson, 2016. With a career spanning decades, he remains one of Hollywood's most enduring stars. George Carlin. George Carlin was a comedic force unlike any other. His early years in entertainment were marked by a more conventional approach to comedy. His clean-cut, radio-friendly routines gained him spots on television in the 1960s, including appearances on The Ed Sullivan Show and The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. However, Carlin soon became disillusioned with mainstream comedy and transformed his act, embracing counterculture themes and developing the sharp, observational, and often provocative style that would define his legacy. By the early 1970s, Carlin had fully reinvented himself, growing out his hair, adopting a more casual look, and tackling subjects like politics, religion, language, and societal hypocrisy. His 1972 album, Class Clown, introduced the now legendary 7 words you can never say on television, a routine that led to a Supreme Court case on broadcast censorship. Around this time, he was a frequent presence on television, including hosting Saturday Night Live's first episode in 1975. While Carlin wasn't a regular cast member of Welcome Back, Kotter, his brand of humor and cultural influence, paralleled the irreverent spirit of the show, making him a figure whose work resonated with the same audience. After the mid-1970s, Carlin's career only grew stronger. He released a series of groundbreaking comedy specials for HBO, starting with On Location, George Carlin at USC, 1977, which set the stage for a new era of stand-up. Over the next 3 decades, he became one of the most influential comedians of all time, with specials like Jammin' in New York, 1992, and Life is Worth Losing, 2005, showcasing his ever-evolving commentary on American life. Beyond stand-up, Carlin found success in acting, appearing in films like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, 1989, and lending his voice to Thomas and Friends. Despite his comedic cynicism, his sharp wit and relentless pursuit of truth made him a beloved figure. He continued performing until his death on June 22, 2008, leaving behind a legacy that shaped modern comedy and cultural criticism. Alan Oppenheimer. Alan Oppenheimer made a significant impact in the entertainment world with his distinctive voice and versatile acting skills. Before Welcome Back, Kotter, 1975, Oppenheimer was already well established in the industry. He began his career in theater and television in the late 1950s, making appearances in several well-known shows like The Twilight Zone, Gunsmoke, and The Munsters. His work during these years showcased his talent for both dramatic and comedic roles, earning him a respected spot in Hollywood. In the 1970s, Oppenheimer's versatility allowed him to be cast in a range of roles, from serious characters to quirky comedic parts. His most prominent television appearance during this time came with Welcome Back, Kotter, where he played a recurring role as the lovable yet stern character of Mr. Woodman, the high school principal. Although not a main character, Oppenheimer's portrayal added a unique flavor to the show, and he quickly became a fan favorite for his ability to balance authority with humor. After Kotter, Oppenheimer's career took on a new direction with his extensive voice acting work. He became a prolific voice actor, lending his talents to animated series such as He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, 1983, where he voiced the character of Skeletor, one of the most iconic animated villains of all time. His ability to bring these larger-than-life characters to life with his powerful voice solidified his place in the world of animation. He also voiced characters in The Smurfs, DuckTales the Movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, and Transformers, among many others. As the years went on, Oppenheimer continued to remain a beloved figure in both television and animation. He appeared in guest roles on live-action TV shows and continued his voice acting career into the 1990s and 2000s. His diverse body of work, ranging from live-action sitcoms to animated series, kept him relevant throughout his career. Although he stepped back from acting in his later years, Oppenheimer's legacy lives on through his beloved characters, both in live action and in the world of animation, where his iconic voice continues to resonate with fans around the world. Gabe Kaplan. Gabe Kaplan started his career as a stand-up comedian before becoming a household name with Welcome Back, Kotter, 1975 to 1979. Raised in a Jewish family, Kaplan initially aspired to be a professional baseball player but transitioned to comedy in the 1960s. He found success on the stand-up circuit, often drawing on his Brooklyn upbringing and school experiences. His routine about a group of high school misfits inspired Welcome Back, Kotter, where he starred as Gabe Kotter, a former sweat hog who returns to teach at his alma mater. The show was a massive success, launching the careers of John Travolta and others while cementing Kaplan's status in pop culture. After Welcome Back, Kotter, Kaplan shifted focus to poker and business ventures. He made sporadic acting appearances but never fully returned to sitcoms. Instead, he became a respected professional poker player and commentator, participating in major tournaments and hosting poker-related TV programs like High Stakes Poker. His sharp analytical skills and deep understanding of the game earned him credibility in the poker world. Beyond poker, Kaplan remained active in stand-up, occasionally performing and making nostalgic appearances related to Kotter. He also dabbled in investments and real estate. Though he largely stepped away from Hollywood, his impact on television and comedy remains significant. With Welcome Back, Kotter remembered as one of the defining sitcoms of the 1970s. Marcia Strassman. Marcia Strassman was drawn to entertainment from an early age. She began her career as a singer in the 1960s, briefly enjoying a recording career with singles like The Flower Children, 1967. However, acting became her true calling, and she moved to Los Angeles to pursue television roles. By the early 1970s, she had landed guest spots on popular series such as The Patty Duke Show, Ironside, and Marcus Welby, M.D., before securing her breakthrough role as Julie Kotter in Welcome Back, Kotter, 1975 to 1979. As the supportive yet sharp-witted wife of Gabe Kotter, Strassman added depth to the show, though she reportedly found the role creatively limiting. Once Kotter ended, Strassman worked steadily in television, appearing in series such as Magnum, P.I., The Love Boat, and Murder, she wrote. However, her most recognizable post-Kotter role came in 1989 when she played Diane Zelinsky, the patient and caring mother in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and its sequel, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, 1992. These films introduced her to a new generation of viewers and solidified her status as a beloved screen mom. Strassman continued acting throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, making guest appearances on shows like Tremors, Noah Knows Best, and Providence. Beyond acting, she was deeply involved in advocacy, particularly in healthcare-related causes. Diagnosed with breast cancer in 2007, Strassman fought courageously while maintaining a positive public presence. She passed away on October 24, 2014, at the age of 66. Though she often sought more substantial roles, her work in Welcome Back, Kotter, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids ensured her a lasting place in television and film history. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs grew up in a creative environment that fueled his passion for acting. He studied at the High School of Art and Design before training at the renowned Juilliard School and acting workshops. His early career in the 1970s saw him take on small roles in films like Claudine, 1974, and Cooley High, 1975, which gained him recognition just before he landed the role that would define his career, Freddie Boom Boom Washington on Welcome Back, Kotter, 1975 to 1979. With his smooth charm, comedic timing, and signature catchphrase, "Hi there," Hilton Jacobs became a fan favorite. As Kotter ended, Hilton Jacobs expanded his career beyond sitcoms. He took on more serious roles, notably portraying Joe Jackson, the strict father of the Jackson family, in the 1992 miniseries The Jacksons, An American Dream. His powerful performance was widely praised. He continued to act in films and television throughout the 1980s and 1990s, with appearances in L.A. Heat, Southlander, and Slumber Party Massacre 2. In addition to acting, Hilton Jacobs explored music, showcasing his vocal and songwriting abilities. He also worked behind the scenes as a director and producer, further diversifying his career. In the 2000s and beyond, Hilton Jacobs remained active in film and television, appearing in shows like Everybody Hates Chris, 42, and A House Divided. Despite the longevity of his career, his role in Welcome Back, Kotter continues to be his most recognized work, cementing his legacy in television history. Ron Palillo. Ron Palillo developed a passion for acting at a young age. He participated in theater during high school and later attended the University of Connecticut, where he refined his craft. His early career included stage performances and small television roles, but his big break came in 1975 when he was cast as Arnold Horshack on Welcome Back, Kotter. His character, known for his high-pitched laugh and signature hand-raising, "Ooh, oh," catchphrase, became one of the most memorable on the show. Palillo's portrayal of the goofy yet endearing sweat hog made him a fan favorite throughout the show's four-season run. After Kotter ended in 1979, Palillo struggled with typecasting. The strong association with Horshack made it difficult for him to secure diverse roles, though he continued working in television with guest appearances on shows like The Love Boat, Chips, and Murder, she wrote. He also did voice work for animated series, including Rubik, The Amazing Cube. In the 1980s and 1990s, he returned to his theater roots, performing in stage productions across the country, including Amadeus and Guys and Dolls. Beyond acting, Palillo ventured into directing, teaching, and writing. He taught acting at G-Star School of the Arts in Florida, where he mentored young actors. He also authored a children's book and explored painting as another creative outlet. Sadly, Palillo passed away on August 14, 2012, at the age of 63 from a heart attack. Though his career faced challenges after Kotter, his portrayal of Horshack left a lasting impression, securing his place in television history. Vernee Watson. Vernee Watson grew up in New York City, where she developed a passion for acting early on. She pursued her craft at New York University, training in theater before transitioning into television and film. By the early 1970s, Watson was steadily building her career with guest roles on popular TV series like Sanford and Son and The Partridge Family. Then, in 1975, she landed the role of Verna Jin Williams, Freddie Boom Boom Washington's girlfriend, on Welcome Back, Kotter. Though it was a recurring role rather than a main cast position, it gave her valuable exposure and helped establish her as a recognizable face in Hollywood. Unlike many actors who struggled after an early breakout, Watson's career thrived beyond Kotter. She became a staple of television, taking on recurring and guest roles in a variety of hit shows throughout the 1980s and 1990s. She appeared on The Jeffersons, Hill Street Blues, and L.A. Law, while also securing a memorable recurring role as Will Smith's mother, Vi, on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Additionally, her distinctive voice led to work in animation, including voicing characters in Batman, the animated series, and other projects. In the 2000s and beyond, Watson remained an active presence on television. She took on recurring roles in soap operas like The Young and the Restless and General Hospital, even winning multiple Daytime Emmy Awards for her work. With a career spanning decades, Watson never faded from the industry. She continued acting well into her 70s, proving her versatility across drama, comedy, and voice work. John Astin. John Astin initially pursued a career in mathematics at Johns Hopkins University before discovering his passion for acting. He transitioned to theater and television in the 1950s, working his way up with small roles before landing his most iconic part as Gomez Addams on The Addams Family, 1964 to 1966. His portrayal of the eccentric, charismatic patriarch became legendary, solidifying him as a pop culture icon. Throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s, Astin continued working steadily in television and film. He took on both comedic and dramatic roles, appearing in shows like Night Gallery and The Wild Wild West. By the time Welcome Back, Kotter premiered in 1975, Astin was already an established actor with a distinctive presence. He made a guest appearance on the show, bringing his signature charm and humor, though it was just a small part of his broader career. Following Kotter, Astin remained a fixture in Hollywood. He reprised his role as Gomez Addams in various Addams Family spin-offs and animated series while also exploring new opportunities. He took on character roles in popular TV series such as Murder, She Wrote, and The Twilight Zone, and lent his voice to animated projects including Duckman. Additionally, he built a strong reputation as a director and acting teacher, mentoring future performers at his alma mater, Johns Hopkins University. Astin's career spanned more than 6 decades, marked by versatility and a deep love for the craft. While he will always be remembered as Gomez, his impact on television, film, and theater goes beyond a single role. Even in his later years, he continued performing and teaching, leaving behind a lasting legacy in the entertainment industry. Michael V. Gazzo. Michael V. Gazzo's career was marked by his gritty performances and distinctive voice, making him a memorable presence in both Hollywood and the theater world. Gazzo initially gained prominence as a playwright. His most significant work, A Hatful of Rain, 1955, was a groundbreaking play that tackled drug addiction, a subject rarely addressed at the time. The play became a Broadway success and was later adapted into a critically acclaimed 1957 film. Despite his early success as a writer, Gazzo transitioned into acting, where his tough demeanor and raspy voice made him a natural fit for crime dramas and mobster roles. His most iconic performance came in 1974, when he played Frank Pentangeli in The Godfather Part II, a role that earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. His portrayal of the conflicted mobster, torn between loyalty and survival, became one of the film's most memorable elements. During this period, Gazzo also made television appearances, including a guest role on Welcome Back, Kotter, in the mid-1970s. While his time on the show was brief, it added another dimension to his long list of TV credits, showcasing his ability to bring depth to even small roles. Following Kotter and The Godfather. Part 2, Gazzo continued to work steadily in film and television. He appeared in movies such as Black Sunday, 1977, and Alligator, 1980, and made guest appearances on TV shows like Kojak, Barney Miller, and Magnum P.I. His distinct voice also led to voiceover work, further extending his presence in the industry. Though he never quite reached the heights of his Godfather role again, Gazzo remained a respected character actor until his death on February 14, 1995. His legacy endures through his powerful performances, particularly in crime dramas, where he brought authenticity and raw intensity to every role he played. Charles Fleischer. Charles Fleischer discovered his love for performance early on. Initially drawn to stand-up comedy, he developed a knack for impressions, voices, and quirky humor. His comedic talents led him to early television roles, and in 1975, he landed a recurring part on Welcome Back, Kotter as Carvelli, one of the Sweat Hogs' rivals. Though not part of the core group, his appearances brought extra comedic energy to the show, and his portrayal of the smug yet humorous Carvelli became a fan favorite. After Kotter, Fleischer didn't limit himself to on-screen acting. Instead, he carved out a multifaceted career that included stand-up comedy, voice acting, and writing. His most famous role came in 1988 when he provided the voice of Roger Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, along with voicing other characters in the film, such as Benny the Cab and Greasy. His high-energy, zany vocal performance was a defining element of the movie's success and remains his most iconic work. Beyond Roger Rabbit, Fleischer built a solid career in voice acting, contributing to projects like The Polar Express, 2004, and various animated series. He also continued acting in live-action roles, appearing in films such as Night Shift, 1982, A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, and Zodiac, 2007. A man of many talents, Fleischer explored science and technology, even delivering lectures on mathematical theories he developed. He remained active in stand-up comedy, often blending humor with intellectual observations. Though many recognize him as the voice behind Roger Rabbit, Fleischer's contributions to comedy, film, and voice acting extend far beyond that role. From his early days on Welcome Back, Kotter, to his diverse and unconventional career path, he has continued to surprise audiences with his range and creativity. Deborah Lee Scott. Deborah Lee Scott had a natural flair for entertainment. She entered show business at a young age, gaining early experience in television and film. Her big break came when she played Kathy Shumway, the younger sister of the main character, on the satirical soap opera Mary Hartman, 1976 to 1977. Around the same time, she was cast as Rosalie Hotsy Totsy, a recurring character on Welcome Back, Kotter. As a streetwise and flirtatious student at Buchanan High, her role added an extra layer of humor and personality to the series. Scott quickly became known for her comedic timing and vibrant screen presence, leading to steady work in the late 1970s and early 1980s. She had recurring roles on Angie and Forever Fernwood, the sequel to Mary Hartman, and frequently appeared on game shows like Match Game and the $20,000 Pyramid, where her lively personality made her a favorite among fans. She also took on film roles, appearing in Police Academy, 1984, and its sequel, as well as horror films like American Graffiti, 1973, and Dirty Harry, 1971. However, as the 1980s progressed, Scott's on-screen appearances slowed. She gradually stepped away from acting, transitioning into behind-the-scenes work in talent management. Despite moving out of the limelight, she remained a beloved figure among fans of classic television. Her later years were marked by personal struggles, particularly after the tragic loss of her fiancé, who was a first responder in the 9/11 attacks. Scott passed away on April 5, 2005, just days after her 52nd birthday. Though her career had its peaks and valleys, she remains remembered for her lively comedic roles and her contributions to 1970s and 1980s television. Della Reese. Della Reese was a multi-talented performer, known for her rich voice and dynamic presence. She began her career as a gospel singer in the 1940s, working with renowned figures like Mahalia Jackson. By the 1950s, Reese had moved into jazz and pop music, earning chart-topping hits like Don't You Know and developing a reputation as a powerful vocalist. Her music career helped pave the way for her transition into acting in the 1960s. Reese made her television debut with appearances on variety shows and in dramatic series, eventually landing her first major role on Channing, 1963, though the series was short-lived. However, her breakthrough in acting came when she joined the cast of Welcome Back, Kotter in 1976, playing the role of the wise and sassy teacher, Mrs. Verlaine. While her role was not a central one, it showcased her ability to bring a mix of humor and authority to her performances, which made her a memorable presence on the show. After Kotter, Reese's career took a more dramatic turn. She starred in the popular TV series Touched by an Angel, 1994 to 2003, playing the angel Tess, which became her most iconic role. The series was a massive hit, and Reese's portrayal of a no-nonsense angel who guided troubled souls resonated deeply with audiences. For this role, she received several nominations and awards, cementing her status as a beloved figure in American television. Reese also had a long and successful film career, appearing in movies like Harlem Nights, 1989, and The Human Tornado, 1976, and she remained a sought-after voice in the entertainment industry. In addition to her work as an actress and singer, Reese was known for her charitable endeavors and spiritual work, becoming an ordained minister and helping to mentor others in their faith. Della Reese passed away on November 19, 2017, but her legacy in music, television, and film continues to inspire. James Komack began his career as a stand-up comedian and actor, initially making a name for himself in the 1950s. One of his earliest notable roles was as Harvey Peck on The Phil Silvers Show, and he later gained further recognition playing Norman Kaplan on The Courtship of Eddie's Father. However, Komack's real impact in Hollywood came from his work behind the camera as a writer, producer, and director. By the 1970s, he had developed a reputation for creating successful television shows. His biggest triumph came with Welcome Back, Kotter, 1975 to 1979, which he developed and produced. The series, starring Gabe Kaplan, became a cultural phenomenon, launching John Travolta's career and making the Sweat Hogs household names. Komack's ability to blend humor with heartfelt moments was a key factor in the show's success, though behind-the-scenes tensions between him and Kaplan ultimately led to creative conflicts. Even before Kotter, Komack had proven himself as a hitmaker with shows like Chico and the Man, 1974 to 1978, which starred Freddie Prinze and Jack Albertson. His knack for crafting sitcoms with socially relevant themes set him apart in the television landscape. After Kotter, he continued working in television, producing series such as Mr. T and Tina and He's the Mayor, though none reached the same level of success as his earlier work. As the 1980s and 1990s progressed, Komack's influence in Hollywood waned, and he gradually moved away from the spotlight. Still, his contributions to television left a lasting impact, with Kotter and Chico and the Man remaining beloved classics. James Komack passed away on December 24, 1997, but his work as a producer and showrunner continues to be remembered as part of television history. Bridget Hanley. Bridget Hanley grew up with a love for performance. After studying drama at the University of Washington, she moved to Hollywood to pursue acting. She started with small television roles in the 1960s, appearing in popular series such as The Flying Nun, Gidget, and The Monkees. Her big break came in 1968 when she landed the lead role of Candy Pruitt on the NBC Western comedy Here Come the Brides. The show, which ran until 1970, made her a familiar face to television audiences and established her as a talented comedic actress. In the years following Here Come the Brides, Hanley continued to work steadily in television, appearing in a range of guest roles on shows like Love, American Style, The Odd Couple, and The Rookies. In 1975, she made an appearance on Welcome Back, Kotter, adding to her long list of television credits. Though her role on the show was brief, it was part of a larger career in which she became a reliable presence in American television. After Kotter, Hanley remained active in Hollywood, often playing supporting roles in sitcoms and dramas. She appeared in Chips, Murder, She Wrote, and Perry Mason, among others. In the 1980s and 1990s, she transitioned to stage acting, continuing to perform in regional theater productions while also working as a drama coach and mentor for young actors. Hanley's career was marked by versatility, and though she never had another leading role as prominent as Here Come the Brides, she built a lasting legacy through her numerous television appearances. She passed away on December 15, 2021, but is fondly remembered for her work in classic television and her contributions to the entertainment industry. Pat Morita. Pat Morita's journey to stardom was anything but conventional. He faced immense hardships from a young age. Diagnosed with spinal tuberculosis, he spent years in a hospital and was told he might never walk again. Defying the odds, he recovered and was soon faced with another challenge: his family's forced relocation to a Japanese internment camp during World War II. These early struggles shaped his resilience, humor, and later his approach to acting. Morita's path to Hollywood wasn't immediate. He first worked as a stand-up comedian, crafting a sharp, self-deprecating style that won him fans. By the 1960s, he transitioned into acting, landing small roles in television shows like Gomer Pyle, USMC, and The Odd Couple. His first big break came in 1974 when he played the amiable Arnold Takahashi on Happy Days, a role that made him a household name. Around this time, he also made appearances on Welcome Back, Kotter, contributing his comedic talents to the hit series. Though his role on Kotter was brief, it added to his growing reputation as a skilled comic actor. Despite his comedic success, Morita longed to prove himself in more dramatic roles. That moment arrived in 1984 with The Karate Kid. As Mr. Miyagi, the wise and compassionate karate master, he delivered a performance that transcended the typical mentor figure. His portrayal earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, a rare achievement for an Asian American actor at the time. The role cemented his legacy and led to multiple sequels. Post-Karate Kid, Morita worked consistently in film and television, lending his voice to animated projects like Mulan, 1998, and appearing in various TV series. Though he battled health issues later in life, he remained active in the industry until his passing on November 24, 2005. His career, spanning comedy, drama, and voice acting, left an indelible mark on Hollywood. Melody Anderson. Melody Anderson began her career in entertainment with a strong foundation in both acting and modeling. She moved to the United States to pursue her dreams in the early 1970s, quickly establishing herself in the entertainment industry. Anderson's early career included roles in popular television shows such as The Rookies and One Day at a Time, where she gained experience and honed her craft. Her most notable role before Welcome Back, Kotter, came in 1975 when she joined the cast of the hit sitcom as a guest star, playing the role of the school nurse. While her role was brief, it became a memorable part of the series' overall charm, showcasing her natural comedic timing and likability. The success of the show further solidified her status as an actress on the rise. After Welcome Back, Kotter, Anderson went on to take on more significant roles in both television and film. One of her most recognized performances came in 1980 when she starred as Dale Arden in the cult classic film Flash Gordon. The film became a major part of her legacy, as she portrayed the iconic love interest of the title character. Her role as Dale showed her ability to seamlessly transition from comedy to action, solidifying her versatility as an actress. Throughout the 1980s, Anderson continued to land both guest spots on TV shows and feature roles in films, though she never quite achieved the same level of fame as Flash Gordon. However, she remained a consistent presence in the industry, appearing in films like Streets of Fire, 1984, and making television appearances in shows such as The Love Boat and Hunter. As her career progressed into the 1990s, Anderson took a step back from acting, eventually focusing on her personal life and exploring other creative ventures. Though her time in the spotlight was more fleeting than some of her contemporaries, Anderson's contributions to both television and film left a lasting impact, and she remains fondly remembered by fans of Flash Gordon and Welcome Back, Kotter. What do you think about the lives and careers of the actors in Welcome Back, Kotter? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.